Well, hello and welcome to another Digimon TCG deck profile. So I went to locals with a new deck again, and I had a really fun time. And as you can see, I took the new Liberator Puppets deck. So I'm gonna be going over what I played and how the tournament went as usual. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the DGX, I played 4 copies of the BT22 Cendrillmon, which has the inherited effect of, once per turn on your turn, when one of your tokens or a puppet raid Digimon is deleted, you can draw 1 card. Which is pretty straightforward and an easily achievable card draw. For the level 3s, I played 4 copies of the starter deck Cendrillmon, with the standard on-play effect to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a puppet and a Liberator card among them to your hand. And its inherited effect is that it gives all your opponent's security Digimon minus 3000 DP. Next is 4 copies of the EX7 Cendrillmon, which when it would digivolve into a Digimon with puppet rate, it reduces the digivolution cost by 1, and it also has the same inherited effect as the previous Cendrillmon. So yeah, even if you're choked at 1 memory, you can still do some plays with this one. I also played 2 copies of the BT22 Cendrillmon, which has the on-play and on-deletion effect to give one of your puppet rate Digimon blocker until the end of your opponent's turn, so you're not completely exposed to your opponent's attacks. And it also has the inherited effect of when attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, which comes in handy when your other DP reduction effects just don't cut it. And finally for the level 3s, I played 2 copies of the starter deck Pawn Chessmon, which has the on-play effect by trashing 1 card with puppet in its trade from your hand, you can draw 2 cards. So it provides some draw power and setting up your trash, which you can also use in this deck. And it has the reboot inherited effect. For the level 4s, I play 4 EX7 Cendrillmon, which has the when digivolving effect. If you have 1 or fewer tamers, you can play 1 Arisa from your hand without paying the cost. And since you want to have tamers on your field, playing 1 for free is pretty good. And it also has the inherited effect to give your opponent security Digimon minus 3000 DP. Next is 4 copies of the starter deck Cendrillmon, which has a security effect that says you may play 1 card with the Liberator trade and a play cost of 4 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost. And I mean, playing anything for free is pretty good, so you better hope this is in your security. It also has Overclock, which for those who still do not know, allows you at the end of your turn to delete 1 of your tokens or a puppet raid Digimon, and this Digimon may attack a player without suspending. And yeah, this is the new keyword introduced specifically for this deck. And I gotta say, I am a fan of it. It's a shame you can't also attack Digimon with this effect, but you'll mostly be deleting them with DP reduction effect, so it's okay. And it also has the same inherited effect as the last Cendrillmon. Now there's also another Cendrillmon with a security effect that's a bit better than this one, but it's a promo so I don't have any of those. And by the time I decided to run this deck for the locals, even if I ordered some, they wouldn't arrive in time, so I have to make do with this one. And finally for the level 4s is 2 copies of Kokeshimon, which has the when digivolving and on-deletion effect. By trashing 1 card in your hand, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP for the turn, which is enough to delete all level 3 Digimon and even some level 4 Digimon. And it can be the deciding factor in deleting some of the higher DP Digimon. And it also has the inherited effect on the opponent's turn once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attack, by deleting 1 of your other Digimon and the attack. Which is kinda like having a blocker without having a blocker, so it may come in handy. For the level 5s I played 3 Karakurumon, which has the on-play and when digivolving effect. By deleting 1 of your tokens or other puppet rate Digimon, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the puppet rate in the hand without paying the cost. And again, not having to pay cost for stuff is pretty great in my book, provided this effect only works if you have another Digimon in play, so it requires some setup. But there are cards in the deck that make it easier to fulfill the requirements, which we'll get to later. And this as well as all the other level 5 Digimon in the deck have the same inherited effect, which is on turns once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your own effects, by deleting 1 of your tokens or other puppet raid Digimon it doesn't leave, which is some seriously good protection, since it protects both from battle and effects. So yeah, it's understandable that it's only once per turn. And yeah, I'm only playing 3 since that's all I had. If I had a 4th one, I'd be playing it probably. But honestly, there's enough searching in the deck that you see it most of the times when you need it. So I didn't really have a problem with running only 3. Next is 3 copies of the EX7 Chappermon, which also has Overclock, and when digivolving, you may play one level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost, which immediately gives you material for overclocking if you need it, or an extra body on the field if you already had something to overclock. So yeah, not a bad card. And finally for the level 5s I play one BT22 Chappermon, which if you have Arisa in play, can evolve from a Shumon for a Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring the Digivolution requirements, by placing a Shumon from your trash under that Shumon. And it also has Overclock, so yeah, if you're missing a level 4, this can just skip that level and go straight into level 5. Granted, if you have Shumon in your trash, but there are ways to getting it there, so you probably will. But I'm only running one because it's a pretty situational card. A useful one, but still pretty situational. For the level 6 I played 3 copies of the BT22 Cendrillmon, which also has Overclock, and on play and when digivolving, you may play one familiar token, which is a yellow Digimon with 3000 DP, and the on deletion effect one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. So you'll mostly be deleting those with your Overclock. And also on long turns once per turn, when any of your other Digimon are deleted, you may activate one of these Digimon's when digivolving effects, which is great for just constantly generating familiar tokens, since when you lose one you immediately create another one, which I think is the more reliable effect than the one from the EX7 Cendrillmon, so I decided to run this one instead. And I also played 2 copies of Kaguyamon, which gives all of your tokens and puppet trait Digimon Alliance and Blocker, providing both aggression and protection. Also on long turns once per turn, when other Digimon are deleted, delete one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon, meaning it also provides removal. And on the end of your turn, once per turn, you may play one level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost, so it's also good for swarming. It really is a jack of all trades. The only thing missing is it having Overclock, but then it would be a bit too OP, I think. And for the level 7s I played 2 copies of Nyabutmon, which can digivolve from a Chappermon for a cost of 6 if you have Arisa in play. It also has Overclock, and a when digivolving effect that lets you play one level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon from your hand without paying the cost, and then it gives minus 3000 DP to one of your opponent's Digimon until the end of your turn for each Digimon you have in play. And since this deck can generate some pretty crazy boards, and also the familiar tokens also reduce DP, this can get rid of all the biggest Digimon in the game. And if that wasn't enough, on long turns once per turn, when any of your other Digimon are deleted, you can use this effect again. So there's probably nothing this thing can't delete, unless they have protection from DP reduction. So yeah, not too shabby for a little cat. For the Tamers, I played 2 EX7 Arisa, which has the start of your main phase effect. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory, which always comes in useful. Also on long turns, when any of your tokens or puppet trait Digimon are deleted, by suspending this Tamer, you may play one level 3 Digimon card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost, which is another easy way of swarming your field, replacing any Digimon you lost. And since most of your level 3s have some on-play effect, you immediately get some payoff from it. Next is 2 copies of the BT22 Arisa, which you can at the start of your main phase return to the bottom of the deck to play one Arisa from your hand without paying the cost. And if you don't have a Digimon, you may play one Shumon from your trash without paying the cost as well, which can be a pretty good comeback effect if your board got wiped. And also on long turns, when any of your tokens or puppet trait Digimon are played, by suspending this Tamer you can draw 1 card, which is a good draw engine, since you always play Digimon in this deck some way or another. I also play one starter deck Arisa, which is a memory setter, and when you play a token or a puppet trait Digimon, by suspending this Tamer it gives them Rush, which sometimes comes in clutch when you need to finish a game but don't have enough attackers. And of course having 3 memory at the start of your turn is always nice as well. I also play one promo Arisa. Again, since this is the only one I have, otherwise I would probably play more, since it has the on-play effect that you may play one Shumon from your hand without paying the cost. And during your turn, once per turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with puppet in its traits, by suspending this Tamer gain 1 memory. So if you pair this one with the EX7 Shumon, you get a free evolution. And finally for the Tamers, I played 3 copies of Mirai Kinosaki. And this card is probably the glue that holds this deck together. It has a non-play effect to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add 1 card with the Puppet or Liberator trait among them to the hand and return the rest to the bottom of your deck. And during your turn, when any of your Digimon would digivolve into a puppet trait Digimon, by returning this tamer to the bottom of your deck, you may play one Arisa or one puppet trait Digimon from your hand with the play cost reduced by 3, which pairs very nice with your most important playmaker Karakurumon, since it needs another Digimon to activate its when digivolving effect. So when you digivolve into it, Mirai can provide you with the materials necessary to combo off. Also another funny interaction would be with the EX7 Shushumon, since when you digivolve into it, if she is your second tamer, and you have an Arisa in hand that you want to play, you can first use her effect to return her to the bottom of the deck and play another puppet trait Digimon, so you get both a tamer and a Digimon from this, which is pretty nutty. So yeah, I considered playing a fourth one, but I couldn't find room in the deck. It's just that good. Now for the options, I play 2 copies of Unique Emblem Fable Waltz, which has a main effect to play one Shumon or Arisa from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and then place this card in your battle area. And on your turn, when any of your Arisa are suspended, it has a delay effect that one of your puppet trait Digimon may digivolve into a puppet and Liberator trait Digimon card in your hand with the digivolution cost reduced by 3. And the security effect is to activate this card's main effect. And boy, there sure are a lot of ways to play things for free in this deck, eh? I also play 2 copies of Yellow Scramble and 1 Vortex Resonance, which I think is probably a must include in most of the Liberator decks. Maybe not all of them, but most of them definitely profit from it. And if you've seen my Necromon deck profile, you know what I'm talking about. And also its security effect allows you to play Tamers or Digimon from your hand or trash with a play cost of 4 or less. And that effect alone saved my bacon plenty of times, not to mention the other one. But yeah, I didn't manage to squeeze in any more than one. Still, I think it's a card worth playing in the deck. And I also have some tokens which I picked up on the day of the tournament. Shout out to the guy that got me those, I really like them. So yeah, that's the deck. As for the matchups, first round I played against another Liberator deck, which was Yao's Fishes. I'm not sure how the Digimon is called. Ryugyumon or something like that. Anyway, it also got new support in BT22, so it was a pretty solid deck. We ended up drawing the round. Since it lasted so long, we just went back and forth between building our boards and getting it deleted. So we ended up going into time after round 2. And I lost the first round and won the second one. But I misplayed something in the first round, so I think I could have won it. But oh well, it's just how it goes sometimes. Second round was against Phoenixmon, which admittedly my opponent did brick 2 of the 3 games we played. I won that 1-1. But even if he didn't brick, I had everything I needed in my opening hands and from the cards I drew afterwards. So I probably could have taken that one even if my opponent didn't brick. The third round was against Jasmine, and that one we also almost went into time. But I did manage to win it 2-0, and the only reason it was such a slog is because they had the Gankumon X's, which gave all of their Digimon immunity from Digimon effects. And that is basically the only removal I have on hand in this one. So yeah, I had my work cut out for me, but I did manage to take it. Even after my opponent swing into my security for 4 checks with the Jasmine GX 2 times. Oh boy, that was scary. And the final round was against Royal Knights, which I lost 2-0, because this time I bricked twice in a row. So yeah, but I mean, it's Royal Knights, so I probably would have lost anyway. But that's just how things go. I mean, both of the games I just had level 4s in my hand, no level 3s. So I had to play all my level 4s and I gave my opponent as little memories as I could. But then he would just get rid of all of my Digimon with their plethora of removal effects. After a while I did manage to raise something in the raising area after I drew a level 3. So I did do something in one game. But yeah, there was no going back from that one. And yeah, that's how the tournament went. And I did manage to get top 4, which granted me some prizing, which was a couple of packs of BT22 and some promo cards. And I did manage to pull a Nokia from one of the packs, just the regular art, not the alternate art. But still, I got something out of it, and I did have fun, as I said before, so I wanted to share what I played with you guys. And hopefully some of you may consider this deck as well, since I had a really good time playing it. It can be a bit complicated with all of the effects you have later on in the game as you gather cards on the field, since you have to manage all your tamer effects, your when digivolving effects, overclocks, deletions, and also the delay effects of the new Fabled Wolves card. But with time and practice it all comes to you pretty easily. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile and I'll see you next time. Bye!